Welcome to Freelance Sucks. Here we discuss the dark side of freelancing about which nobody usually talks out loud. In this show, we speak with experienced freelancers, and I'm sure listening to their stories helps you prepare for freelancer challenges. My name is Yuri. I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and my guest is Mario Prada, a mobile and web software developer with a great freelancing experience who aims always to write clean and readable code and passionate about beautiful and practical UI UX. So, welcome, Mario.
Hey Yuri, thanks for having me.
I always start this conversation with the easiest question. What is the most challenging part of being a freelancer?
Oh, the artist one. Well, I think you are, at least for myself, I work at home and I try my best to keep my environment clean and focused so I can focus better. So I think this is a really hard challenge for me. Every single day I try to have my desk cleaned and my laptop cleaned, and so I can at least just focus on what is necessary.
How is it possible to be a freelancer and work at home while having two kids?
It's a really challenge. It's a really you can see by my face that I remember at the COVID time we needed to have the kids at home while you were working, and I can tell you that it was one of the biggest challenge. So it's not easy, but right now they are in kindergarten and at school, so makes the process easier.
Got it. What is the most time-consuming thing you must deal with as a freelancer?
So I like to organize my day. Basically, we worked with Jira platform, and what I like to do is see the tasks that are assigned to me and understand what should I do, or what is my priority, and start by that. So organizing my day so I can work better in, or at least in a better flow. It's the first thing I do in my day.
Do you prefer work with time boundaries or more with a free schedule?
I work better with a free schedule. Just because I already understand my capabilities, and based on that, I already know that I can do a certain amount of work.
Is it that you can do the same amount of work every day?
No, not at all. Well, some days I work really good and I feel fine. So in those days I'm more productive. But as a human being, there are days that I don't feel that good, and on those days I go slower and just assign myself to a more easier task.
Got it. And how do you motivate yourself when you feel in not that, super productive mood?
Well, I try to exercise daily, and I think that's really improved my mood. So I try to keep that in mind. That once I wake up, I work for a few hours and then go to workout. And when I come back, I feel much energy.
Are you going to a gym or what is your workout routine?
Yeah, I go to the gym.
Got it. Do you have a trainer or do you work on your own?
Right now, I don't have a trainer, but maybe I need one because I'm becoming too sloppy, and maybe I will get one.
Got it. And what is the most nerve-consuming thing you must deal with as a freelancer?
Sorry?
Nerve-consuming. What are you most nervous about?
Well, I think it's the demos, because at the demos you basically present your work and you want to make sure that everything is going to look good, right? Basically, you are responsible for that part of the application, and so on those days I spend my entire morning preparing everything, preparing my setup. So I'm sure that when the time comes, everything will run smoothly.
Have you ever had anything ran not that good?
Yes, the answer is yes. It was not fun, but sometimes those kind of things happens, and you need to be prepared. And if you have a great team like I do, they understand, and they just support you, and you are there to iterate on that, and next time will be much better.
And how to get out of this situation? So, for example, you're on a demo, something is not going wrong. Maybe somebody can start being nervous, or like, what is your approach to deal with this situation?
I just try to explain the situation in the best way possible. Basically, you say that you were working on that. Maybe this is not working right now the way we're expecting, because this happens, and this can be the issue. So let's tackle that once this meeting is finished, to understand if that's the situation or not.
Am I hearing it correctly that that you are trying to be the most honest with
Oh
people?
yeah, yeah, always. I think that's a key. You are there as a team, and you want to improve as a team. So there's no reason to not be honest. And yeah.
Have you ever worked with teams who were like, pointing fingers at each other, like in this meme with Spider-Man's?
No, no, never. Thank God. I don't want to.
You're lucky, yeah. And as a freelancer and the person who works remotely, do you ever feel professional loneliness?
Yes, yes, that's a big issue, at least from my end. But I think, as I already talked with different freelancers, and they feel the same, because if you think about it, you are at your home or at your office alone, and even if you have some calls during the day, it's always you and the computer, and you don't have anyone else. So sometimes, yeah, you feel like a lonely old wolf, and you have some challenge to face that.
How do you deal with it?
Yeah, well, I try to have a social life. This is the first thing I try to do. Apart after my work is done, I try to have go to with some friends, have a walk with my kids and my wife, and I think that's restore my social bar. But yeah, again, the exercise and talk with guys that you already know on the gym, it also helpful. So you start seeing a pattern here. At least for me, that's really helpful.
But I feel like it's like a general social life. But what about professional social life?
Well, I don't think I have a answer to your questions. My current team, we try to organize meetings where we are there to socialize, talk with each other, and know each other better, and
Mhm.
that's really great. And I'm really grateful for that. But I don't think it's the same thing as being in an office with other peoples, and after work you go to get a beer or two. So it's a different approach, that's for sure. And I have that experience before, because before I was a developer, I worked in corporates for about five
Mm,
years, and I know that's the fun part of being in a company.
got it. If your friend wanted to become a freelancer, what are top 3 things you'd advise them to consider before doing it?
Three things. Well, the first thing is that you are never safe in terms of opportunities, because now you have a job, but you don't know if next year you will have the same job. So it's important to mention that, of course. And also this part that we just talked about, the feeling lonely, and don't have too much person, you don't have a person to talk, or someone. So that's also a difficult topic on the freelance world. And also you need to be really really organized, because you are working alone, no one is seeing you. If you are not organized, you really easily can do things that are not in a productive way, and of course the team won't like that.
What is one tip that helped you to be organized?
Well, I work really well with Notion. Do you know this
Mm.
tool?
Yeah, it's a great tool.
Yeah, basically, I just organize my entire professional life there, and I know by day what I need to do, and even if I see my day of tomorrow, I already it's already planned. So this kind of process helped me to figure out what I need to finish today and what I need to start tomorrow.
Do you use some kind of productivity systems or something like Pomodoro techniques, or I don't know, like break big tasks or smaller parts or something like that? Like what is helpful for you?
I don't use Pomodoro technique. I never tried it. Maybe one day I will try it. But I like when I see a big issue, a big task. I like to break it into smaller ones. That's really helpful for me. In fact, one thing that I like to do every time I have too many tasks, I will start with the easier ones, just because it gives me that feeling of, oh, I'm so productive. So I will be ready to start the big monster here.
Yeah, I totally understand. I've read a book, which was like, I don't remember exact name of this book, but I remember that the idea was like start with the hardest task first. And I was like, yeah, I need to start with the hardest task. And then like I have a list of, I don't know, 8 tasks. And like 2 of them are the hardest. And then I'm starting with one hard task. And then like I'm doing the hard task for the whole day. And then like, oh my God, I still have so many tasks incompleted. And I totally understand you on this space. When you start from with the easiest, you're like, phew, 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 you have six,
Yeah,
7 tasks done, and then like you do the hard tasks super easy. So
yeah.
yeah,
I'm a
I'm
big fan
I'm
of that approach.
I'm on this team with you. And Mario, I really wish to have the sky as the limit, but time is the limit. So the final question: if you were starting freelancing today, what is one thing you would have done differently?
One thing that I would uh, differently. Well, I would say I would talk with more different people. At least I would talk with different freelancers because
Mhm.
when I start in these freelance worlds, I was not expecting that, and I was not prepared with some of these parts. So at least I wish I would inform myself in a at least in a best way possible.
Got it. More communications, more networking, more conversations.
Exactly.
You're not the first person who tells about that. So I feel like it's a really good advice. And yeah, thank you very much for sharing it, and thank you very much for sharing your challenges and the way you deal with them and having such an open conversation.
Sure. Thank you, Yuri.
And thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button on 5 stars and share it with your friend. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.